truth of Copernicus through the church itself. For that I must stay here.
Well, you are playing a dangerous game.
I'm doing what is left for me to do. How is that dangerous?
Dearest Galileo, who can stand up against your truth and your justice? Perhaps you are right and I am wrong. But I confess I don't like the picture of you as a second Daniel in a lion's den.
My book will convert the lions.
Mr. Landini, how does one buy a book?
You're a merchant, Vanetti. If I wish to purchase some of your excellent cloth, I inquire the price, pay you, and the cloth is mine. If you want a book, ask the price, pay me, and the book is yours.
Just like that? How much is this book of Galileo's?
1 crown.
And it's in Italian? 20 years ago, I learned to read and write. It's come in very handy for my business. I've been told there is no greater pleasure than sitting at home, reading a book. Now I shall try it and see.
Thank you very much.
Good day.
Good day. Well, Mr. Galileo, that makes 18 we've sold today.
Forgive an old man his foolishness, but I like to sit here quietly in the shadows and watch people come in and buy my book. 18 in one day. Ooh.
For the last 10 days, I could have had no other stock but your book. There's a great market for masterpieces. Excuse me, here comes Count Cinelli's page.
Good afternoon, Messer Landini.
Good afternoon to you.
From the Count.
Listen, Galileo's new book has given me such unbounded pleasure that I must share my joy with others. I ordered 3 copies of the book to be sent, one each to... He wants one for his brother in Pisa, one for his nephew in Turin, and one for his cousin in Milan. Tell your master they will be sent at once. I will.
You are Messer Galileo, aren't you?
Well, how did you know?
By your picture in the front of the book.
Have you read the book?
Only a few pages when no one was around. The Count's copy is always at his bedside.
And what do you think of it?
You really want to know? Well, that Copernican system, it is real, isn't it? There are times when I can't tell from your book if you really believe it.
The church doesn't allow the system as fact.
You're confusing me. The Aristotle system makes no sense. Well, only one can be right. Why didn't you say exactly what you believe?
Landini, let this young man come in and read my book whenever he wants to. My son, read. Read through the book carefully. Think your way through to the answer. And don't be afraid to think. I cannot believe it.
Brother, have you seen this book?
Father Valenzuela has just brought me a copy. It's insufferable.
We must trace the sale of every copy, confiscate and destroy it.
By all means.
We must reach out to Galileo.
But the immediate thing is the book. Bring Riccardi here at once.
He's on his way. I've also sent a messenger to Ambassador Niccolini, telling him to appear as soon as possible.
Good. This book may lose us something we may never be able to recapture.
What do you mean, brother?
This book does not appeal to faith. It appeals to reason. To make matters worse, it is not written in Latin, when it would stand quietly on the shelves of a few private libraries read by a handful of scientists, but in Italian, for every common man to read.
Uncle, do not do this to Galileo's book.
What?
If you refuse Galileo's ideas, you will betray the millions who look to the church for salvation and guidance. Then, where will man turn with his new ideas? In self-protection, we will find ourselves at war against the truth.
Father Riccardi.
Do you know this book?
Oh, why, it's Galileo's. And this engraving of his portrait a becoming likeness.
We will save the aesthetic considerations. Did you, as chief censor of the press, allow this book to pass?
Yes.
How? As chief censor of the press, did you allow this book to pass?
Well, he complied with our every instruction. He added a preface outlined by us. And we changed innumerable sentences in the body of the book. We were very careful, and, well, after we'd finished, naturally, we gave him a license.
He complied with all your instructions.
Oh, yes.
And with each compliance, he has increased the difficulties of the church.
Your Holiness, what does he mean?
He means that this book does not just deal with mathematics. It deals with matters affecting faith and reason. He means that this book has damaged the authority of the church. That because of this book, religion is imperiled.
I've read it through at least a dozen times. I don't understand.
Riccardi, I will send you to some province where you may spend the rest of your days thinking this over. You may go. Wait. As your last official act, send an order to the Inquisitor at Florence to confiscate every remaining copy at Landini's bookshop.
Yes, Your Holiness.
Uncle, our church should be a warm mansion for humanity, not a cold prison for his spirit. We are shutting men away from God.
I'm sorry my son is such a trial to you. When will he grow up and be sensible?
Your Holiness, if I judge the signs correctly, the trial of an important man will soon come before the Inquisition. I have the deepest esteem for the present Commissary General and believe him perfectly suited for his work in all respects but one. That one thing, Your Holiness, will prove of paramount importance.
And what is this one thing?
Pressure. The art of pressure. The author of this book claims to love nature and constantly gives examples from it. May I do likewise? A frog is dropped into a pot of boiling water. He squirms, he struggles, sometimes leaps out and escapes, and always splashes the spectators and creates a violent stir. Another frog is slipped into a pot of cool water. He is content, he squats comfortably. The water is slowly heated. Gradually the heat is increased. The water even boils, but the frog does not stir. His senses have become slowly numb. He dies peacefully. The same objective has been accomplished, in one case by a bungler, in the other by an artist. May I speak further?
Proceed.
Your Holiness, the understanding of pressure, how to apply it, when, to what degree. These are techniques of a craft achieved only after the deep study of the inner workings of a man's heart and soul. This subject, Your Holiness, has been my constant study.
And how do you propose to put this knowledge to use?
I have taken the liberty of doing some investigating on my own.
I hope you've been discreet.
I am a man of discretion, Your Holiness. I think you will be interested in reading this document.
Where is this from?
From the official file on Galileo Galilei.
Ambassador Niccolini has arrived.
Bring him in at once. And summon Father Riccardi here. Be quick.
I came at once, Your Holiness.
I swear you to silence as to what you are about to hear and see.
I swear.
Come closer, my good Firenzuola. Father Firenzuola performs delicate tasks for me and is soon to be assigned an important post.
Thank you, Your Holiness.
Messer Niccolini, as you know, is the Florentine ambassador to Rome.
I have known Ambassador Niccolini by fame. I am glad to know him by face.
Yes, Your Holiness.
When Galileo presented his dialogue and applied for a license, what did he say regarding Cardinal Bellarmine's injunction to him?
He said that Cardinal Bellarmine told him that since the system of Copernicus does not agree with church doctrine, it cannot therefore be held as a truth, but may be discussed in terms of hypothesis.
Did he at any time say that Cardinal Bellarmine enjoined him to entire silence? That he was not to teach, hold, or defend his doctrine in any way whatsoever?
Not even as hypothesis?
In any way whatsoever? Did he ever tell you this?
No, he did not. If there was such an injunction, the book would never have passed my hands. But Your Holiness, is there such an injunction?
You have done enough damage. You may go.
Is there such an injunction? But this paper doesn't even have a signature. Not of Cardinal Bellarmine, or of any of the witnesses, or of Galileo. Why, it doesn't even have a date.
It is part of the permanent records of our Holy Office, taken from the files on Galileo.
This is obviously not an official document. This must be some memorandum, written by an overzealous clerk.
Do not speak lightly of documents from our official files.
This was not the intention of Pope Gregory and Cardinal Bellarmine when they admonished Galileo.
Would you like to call them in and ask them their intention?
Your Holiness knows as well as I that they are both dead.
Then we shall have to go by our files. And remember, Ambassador Niccolini, you have been sworn to secrecy.
What if, in spite of my oath, I choose to tell Galileo?
You would impair your eternal soul. Father Firenzuola, make out the necessary papers as follows. Write to Florence and have Galileo summoned to appear before the Commissary General of the Inquisition in Rome within 1 month.
Rome? The man is 69 years of age. His health is failing. He's nearly blind. Surely he can be tried by the inquisitors in Florence.
He must be tried in Rome. If he's not well, he can come slowly. But he will come.
But why must you go, Father? Why? You have obeyed every injunction. I who copied out the book with his hand and witnessed to it.
I must go to Rome. There I will find out. It seems that we have not yet earned our right to sit here in peace and quiet. I have not much time left.
No, Father. The winds coming down from the mountains are too cold. Wait until